To marry a king sounds like a fairy tale, a promise of unparalleled power and privilege. For 6 different women, the court of Henry VIII offered exactly that, plus the intoxicating prospect of love from a charismatic, passionate monarch. But for each of them, that fairy tale would curdle into something much darker. Henry's desperate, all-consuming quest for a male heir wouldn't just tear his kingdom apart, it would forever change the lives of 6 queens. We remember them today with a simple, brutal rhyme: divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. This is the story of how a king's love became a queen's nightmare. Before we begin, if you love uncovering hidden, dramatic moments from history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your thoughts. It really helps us bring you more stories like this one. When the young, athletic Henry VIII took the throne, his marriage to the Spanish princess, Catherine of Aragon, seemed like the perfect match. For nearly 24 years, she was a devoted and beloved queen. But their love story was haunted by one devastating failure: Catherine couldn't give him a male heir. She endured at least 6 pregnancies, but only one child survived, a daughter named Mary. As Henry's obsession for a son spiraled, his affection for Catherine withered. He became convinced their marriage was cursed because she had first been married to his older brother. And when his eyes fell on a witty, captivating lady-in-waiting named Anne Boleyn, Catherine's fate was sealed. To have Anne, Henry would shatter his kingdom's faith, break from Rome, and cast aside the wife he once cherished, sparking the English Reformation. Anne Boleyn was like no one the English court had ever seen. She was sharp, ambitious, and she flat out refused to be just another royal mistress. For 7 long years, she made the king wait. Henry's obsession was total, and when he finally tore down the old world to make her his queen, he expected his prize. But Anne, like Catherine before her, also failed him. She gave him not a prince, but another daughter, the future Queen Elizabeth. Her fiery personality and political mind, things Henry once found so attractive, now glared on him. As the king's eye started to wander toward a new lady-in-waiting, Jane Seymour, his passion for Anne twisted into dark suspicion. Shocking, and almost certainly fabricated, charges of adultery, incest, and treason were brought against her. In May 1536, Anne Boleyn was beheaded. Her fall was a terrifying warning that no one was safe from the king's disillusionment. Just 11 days after Anne's execution, Henry married Jane Seymour. Wherein was a firestorm, Jane was seen as meek and gentle, the exact opposite of her tragic predecessor. Her time as queen was short, but she delivered what no one else could. She gave Henry the son he so desperately craved, Prince Edward. The kingdom rejoiced, but the celebration didn't last. Just 12 days after giving birth, Jane died from complications, likely a childbed fever. Henry was thrown into genuine, profound grief, and he declared her his one true wife. He even commanded that he be buried beside her, a final testament to the woman who gave him his greatest wish, but paid for it with her life. After 2 years of mourning, Henry was ready to remarry, this time for political reasons. His sights fell on a German noblewoman, Anne of Cleves. The match was a disaster from the moment they met. Arranged based on an overly flattering portrait, Henry was instantly disappointed by her appearance, famously, and perhaps unfairly, calling her a Flanders mare. He found her plain and lacking the sophisticated charm he expected in a queen. The marriage was annulled after just 6 months, with the official reason being that it was never consummated. But in a strange twist, Anne handled the humiliating rejection with remarkable grace. She agreed to the annulment and was rewarded with the honorary title of the king's beloved sister, living out her days comfortably in England, a surprisingly peaceful end for a rejected queen. Next, the ailing king fell head over heels for the young and bubbly Catherine Howard, a cousin of Anne Boleyn. Utterly captivated by her youth, he called her his rose without a thorn, but Catherine had a past. Raised in a lax household, her history of romantic flings followed her to court. It wasn't long before rumors of her past, and more dangerously, whispers of adultery asterisk after asterisk, becoming queen, reached the king's ears. Henry's adoration curdled into a furious, wounded rage. He felt the sting of betrayal and public shame all over again. In 1542, Catherine Howard met the same fate as her cousin and was executed for treason at the Tower of London. Henry's sixth and final wife, Catherine Parr, was a different choice entirely. A mature, twice-widowed woman, she was more of a companion and nurse to the increasingly obese, paranoid, and ill king. She was also a kind and intelligent stepmother who helped mend Henry's broken relationships with his daughters, Mary and Elizabeth. Her strong Protestant faith nearly got her arrested when enemies at court plotted against her, but she cleverly navigated the situation and saved herself from the king's wrath. Catherine was the ultimate survivor. She outlived the tyrannical king, bringing a sense of calm and stability to the chaotic end of his reign. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. That simple rhyme neatly sums up the fates of 6 queens, but it papers over the deeper, darker story of a king's descent into tyranny. Once a dashing prince, Henry VIII's obsession with a male heir twisted him into a man who treated women as disposable vessels for his ambition. In the end, his quest for a lasting Tudor dynasty was secured not by his own ruthless design, but through the children he so often cast aside: his son Edward, his daughter Mary, and finally, his daughter Elizabeth, the failed child of Anne Boleyn, who would go on to rule England during a golden age. If you love seeing the dramatic, human side of history brought to life, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell for more stories of power, passion, and betrayal.